my name is Holly Crew, and I'm here reporting with Mr. Barry Genovesi from WorcLab for the Lobby Observer. So, Mr. Genovesi, can you explain like who you are and what you do with WorcLab?
Sure. So, well, first of all, WorcLab is a technology incubator and co-working space. So we have the ability to help companies develop new technologies, build prototypes, as well as allow companies who want to have remote or satellite offices, or for people who work at home but have 3 kids and find it difficult to work at home, so they just want a desk and a conference room. So we're in downtown Worcester in the Printers Building, and up until the coronavirus struck, we were pretty hop in place with lots of people working on their companies. Sure, go ahead.
Oh no, I just said I'm sure, yeah. It seems like a really good idea.
So my job as executive director is to basically oversee the operations of the incubator. One of my big jobs is fundraising. And a gentleman named Mark Prince is actually our community manager, and he manages all the day-to-day work that goes on here. So a bunch of us were thinking, what can we do to help? So we're unfortunately stuck pretty much doing nothing. Most of us are engineers, so by our nature, we want to solve problems. And so we decided that maybe we could start 3D printing
Cool.
personal protection equipment. So that involves primarily 2 major pieces of equipment. The first one is a face mask, and this is a sample of one of the ones that we print. And what's interesting about this is that it's designed to take a standard N95 face mask, and you can cut that into 3 pieces, and then you can insert one of the pieces in here, and then this snaps back on it. And so you've turned 1 face mask into 3 face masks. Additionally, the hospital is trying to source the material on their own, but it's very hard to find that. So this is a great solution because it actually triples their inventory of face masks.
Yeah, that's great.
So this protects obviously their nose and their mouth, but one of the other ways that the virus gets into your system is through your eyes. The virus particles hit the wet surface of your eye, get into your tear duct, which basically runs into your throat and into your lungs. So we also manufacture, so we manufacture a device which is a face shield. And you've probably seen them. They almost look like a welder's mask, except they're not dark. And what we do is we 3D print a bracket that fits around the head. And this is the bracket. There's an elastic that gets attached here, and then there's little adjuster clips that we also 3D print. Then there's a piece of foam that's inserted here. And then on the front, and I don't know whether you can see this, but there are these little clips right here. Mm-hmm. And we cut using a laser cutter. We cut very thin Lexan material, and then that Lexan material wraps around the front. So this goes on like this, and it's sealed against my head so nothing can get inside. Then the plastic shield comes down to about here. And then it wraps around to about here, about to your ear on either side. So between these 2 devices, and then gloves, the nursing and doctor staffs and nurse assistant staffs are fully protected from the virus. Now, these materials that we print with are fully, cleanable, so they can be sterilized. And we're primarily supplying these to St. Vincent's Hospital, and they have a whole program put together where they take these in, they sterilize them. There's about a half a dozen people that assemble them. So the good news is that we focus on 3D printing, and we supply them with material, and then they turn them into finished products. And all these designs are approved by the National Institute of Health, and they're tested by the hospital's health safety department, and to guarantee that they're effective.
That's absolutely like amazing. I think that it's super cool that you guys turned like a completely different business into something to help out with the virus and everything like that. So that's really great. Is WorcLab
Mm-hmm.
still open for people to come in and do their work there, or is it virus stuff now?
Technically, WorcLab is not what's considered to be essential business, right. But we have companies who are considered essential businesses. So we're allowed to be open, but pretty much everybody except for the people who come in to take care of the printers,
Mhm.
pretty much are working from home. So I'm here today as an example, and it's, I'm doing my tour of duty, taking things off the printers and making sure everything's working well. And then somebody will come in tonight and do the same thing. Each print job takes about 4 to 6 hours, depending on what you're printing. And we currently have 14 printers
Oh,
that
cool.
are basically running 24 hours a day.
Mhm.
So we can produce a tremendous amount of these, and we're actually in the process of applying for another grant from the Worcester Foundation to add 10 more printers
Wow.
and another laser cutter. So we're going to be able to produce thousands of these face shields in mass, because unfortunately, I don't think that requirement's going to go away soon. I think we're going to
Yeah.
see this go through the rest of the year. And we want to be prepared and scalable so we can do it. And we also want to be able to have this as a built-in capability. So if something happens in the future, we can instantly respond to this. Because it took us a while to get up to speed and to acquire more printers and do all that. Now we'll be able to respond very quickly.
Yeah.
And the side benefit is all these printers will be beneficial to our companies when they come back, who need to prototype parts for their, for the things that they're selling.
Yeah, that's really great. Did you guys ever like envision yourselves going into virus manufacturing, or was this just like a spur of the moment thing?
No, I think that, like I said earlier, this is a bunch of engineers. So,
Yeah.
The thing we hate the most is seeing a problem that we can't solve. So, the way I tell people what engineers are like, when a building's on fire, everybody's running out. Typically, some engineer will run in to figure out why the building's on fire. And it is just the nature of engineers to be curious and to want to solve problems. And frankly, both my wife and I in the past year have had situations where we've had to be in the hospital, and we're both very lucky. We both did very well, but the nursing staff at the hospital we were at, South Shore Hospital in Weymouth, was superb. And just the thought of all those people, nurses and doctors and other staff, putting their lives on the line. And we heard stories of nurses making face shields out of Pepsi bottles
Yeah.
and wrapping scarves around their head. And to me, that's just absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, I
And
completely agree.
and a big part of what we believe in here at WorcLab is we're in this situation because we basically exported our manufacturing capability offshore, right? Because it was the cheaper place to do it. And I think one of the lessons that comes out of all this is that we really need to be able to domestically manufacture. And so a big part of our prototyping lab is that ability to basically build prototypes onshore and then source local manufacturers. So what I'm hoping is, as a result of all this, we see a lot of that manufacturing coming back onshore, because it's part of our security. Part of our national security is to be
Yeah,
able to take care of our citizens. So we feel like we're doing our part to help fulfill that.
exactly. And I would completely agree with that. I think personally, that like what you're doing to help our country and help even just like Massachusetts just in general is absolutely like amazing and something that can't be matched in my opinion. How many masks have you guys given to the hospital?
I think so far we've produced about 400 masks and shields, and just this week we got 10 new printers online. So that our goal is to be able to do 1,000 a week.
Cool. That's awesome, and that's so many, and I think would greatly help the insane PPE demand right now too.
Yeah, I think that. So we're working, like I said, with St. Vincent's, and so we're satisfying their demand. But they've also said that once that has happened, that they will start to push the product out into other hospitals.
Yeah,
And I know that other people like WPI is doing a similar project, and they're sending their stuff, I think, to UMass Medical.
oh cool.
Um, and this is, if you kind of look nationwide, this is a real grassroots thing. This is a bunch of people with 3D printers, people with engineering backgrounds saying, hey, let's do something to help. So
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, thank you so much for letting me interview you, Mr. Genovesi. I really appreciate it.
my pleasure, and good luck and stay safe.
Thank you. You too. Have a great day.
You too. Bye.
Bye.